I have no idea what I'm doing. Monica, pick up your microphone so you're ready when we're ready.
Ready.
She's like, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Ready?
Woo.
Ready.
Oh, well, here we are.
Here we are. All together.
Yes.
Second week in a row.
This is a miracle.
Yes, we are.
It's a hot end of spring miracle.
Yeah. Let me just paint a picture for you. We are here in the podcast lounge. It's 672 degrees out, and
Steamy in here.
steamy, and the air conditioning is out.
So remember how last episode we were like, I'm so tired of the gloom and doom and the cold. Well, here we are. This is what we get.
Here we are. Monica and Ashley are thriving in the heat.
I'm good.
And I'm the Wicked Witch of the West.
I'm
melting.
melting.
Yeah, I'm melting. That's me. I am sweating. I am sad and depressed. We have some very sad news to share with all of our girlfriends. Sadie, the podcast dog, is no longer with us.
She's moved on to a different channel.
Yeah, she's at the Rainbow Bridge, right?
Yeah,
I
she
guess that's
is.
what
Do
they
you believe
say,
in
yep.
that kind of thing?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Yeah, so we talked about how she was getting older and older, and while her back legs finally just gave out, and she couldn't stand anymore, and she just laid there. And the last time she ever I was trying to get her out to go to the bathroom, and it's like 1 a.m. I get her out on the back deck, and she falls again because she had fallen a couple times. I'm like, okay, we got to get her to the bathroom before I put her to bed. And she fell, and I thought, oh my God, here we are. It's 1:30 in the morning. I'm out on the deck. I cannot pick up this 80-pound or 90-pound dog. So anyway, she did. She struggled. She worked so hard, bless her heart, and she got up and got to her bed, and she never moved again. So this was late on a Friday night, and then she never got up again. The next night, someone gave me the tip of putting a towel under the dog.
That's
and then
brilliant.
I never would have thought of that. So we put a towel under her, and we would pick her up on either side, and like we tried to carry her outside. And then she just stopped. Her functions just stopped. She didn't even pee or poop or anything.
Yeah.
But we took her outside, and I gave her ice cream and brushed her real good, and I called this mobile vet, and they came out. This was a few days, but the thing was, she was still Sadie.
Yeah.
I mean, her mind and everything.
Sweetest dog ever.
She was so smart and so sweet. She was a cross between a golden and a German Shepherd. She was really smart, and I'm very, very sad. Our whole family's very sad.
I know, but she loved her mama.
She really did. Her bed is still in the corner
I know.
of the lounge
I'm
here.
like, can't help but like.
But now we have. I just noticed we now have a podcast cat.
Yeah. So Maxie,
Max
Maxie
is
the
like,
cat.
I'm here for you.
So we'll invite Maxie in, and he'll be our new. We will always have Sadie as long as we never change our intro. Here's a little Easter egg for you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's ever noticed this noise, but when you listen to our intro, right at the end there, it kind of tapers off the music, and you can hear Sadie panting in the background.
Thought that was you.
And by the way, I thought that was me. By the way, that intro music, that is my son playing guitar. And we played around with some different tunes, and we thought that was a nice, happy, fun tune.
Yeah.
And so he recorded right here, and Sadie was laying there, and I thought about it. I'm like, no, leave it in.
Yeah.
It's fun. So
I
you
agree.
guys, whenever you hear that, you can think of Sadie
Yeah.
and miss her with us, because she was the best.
She was.
Damn
And
dog
first of all,
ever.
before we end this, I just want to say kudos to your family too for adopting an older dog.
Yeah.
You know?
She was
That's
a
what we do.
rescue. She was like
Yep.
2 or 4. I don't know. She was found just wandering the
Yep.
streets, disheveled, no collar.
Yep. That's how we got our little barky bark dog, Barky McBarkerson.
Yeah. So, but Monica and Ashley knew Sadie very well, because obviously Monica lives next door, and Ashley used to, before she got all grown up and got a life, she
Got
would
a life.
come
I
over
became an
and
adult.
she would babysit Sadie whenever we were gone, or just let her out if I couldn't get home.
Yeah, Sadie and I spent like a solid week together.
Yeah.
A couple times.
Just binge watching Netflix.
We
or
just
something.
watched. Yeah, we just watched Netflix. That's all we did. But I took her for a walk a couple times.
Wasn't it Orange? You watched Orange is the New Black one time.
when it was when it first came out. Sadie and I watched Orange is the New Black.
Sadie
Yeah.
loved that.
She was obsessed.
So one more thing. So I was I had an idea of what we were going to have for a cocktail.
Okay.
And I was rushing home from work. And of course, like I said, it's 80 bazillion degrees out. So I'm sweating and I'm cranky. And I'm like, okay, forget it. We're just having wine because I love wine and it's easy. And I actually picked out a wine. I will even tell you. Well, maybe I'll save it for another time. No, I'll tell you.
Well, you have to because now you're teasing.
I have to. I picked out wine and it's called Hope's End because I was so depressed.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shot down your wine choice instantly. I'm sorry.
No, I like what we chose better.
Okay, good.
Ashley got here early and I said, you know what? Do you want wine? She's like, yeah. And I said, how about tequila
It's
on
always
the rocks?
a good day for tequila.
So we're just said we're drinking fuck it tequila on the rocks, and that's what we're having, ladies.
It's hot outside. This is like nice and refreshing, and a little squeeze of lime.
Yep. Casamigos again because I figured George Clooney would make me feel better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are. We got some wine. I mean wine. I'm looking at we're drinking out of
Water
wine
glass.
glasses. We've got the Bad Moms Christmas glass,
Which Monica's drinking on. Suitable. What is the word I'm looking for?
suitable.
Okay,
it's
thank
a
you.
suitable glass for you. Is that what you're?
Must be, yeah.
Or are
something
you
like
going to
that.
put it on and wear it like a suit so it's suitable?
Oh, well, yeah, there's always that. I think I'll drink it. Never mind. I'm good with that.
And then Ashley's drinking out of the Festival of the Sun by Jackson National. It's a festival in Old Town we have here in the Lansing area, which is pretty awesome. Festival of the
is.
Sun and Festival of the Moon.
Yep.
And then I am drinking out of this wine glass my husband and I got on a trip to Mackinac from the absolute worst winery we have ever been to. It was awful.
On the island.
It was not on the island. It was in Mackinac City. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes. And we were like, oh, let's go into this winery here and have a tasting. We walked in and they were rude. There was this cluster of people at the end of the bar. And we walked up and we're like, you know, we just stood there like, okay, well, where are we going to sit? And these people go, oh, you want to sit down? And we're like, yeah, sure. And they were the owners and they didn't even move for us right away. And
Oh
so
my
we're like,
gosh.
okay. And then they made some like snarky comment about something. And then we're tasting the wines and we're choosing our wines. And the guy was like, oh, I don't like that one. You know, it's like, are you serious?
This is
What
the
you're
owner?
promoting.
This was just the guy who worked there.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
this is a wine tasting place. You don't go, ew, you like that? You like Chardonnay?
Right,
Ugh.
make you feel crappy about your choice of
I'm
wine.
guessing they might not be in business anymore with
I'm
that
sure they are in
attitude.
Mackinac. I mean, I don't know. It's not
Mackinac.
exactly high class. But, okay, so we started to talk about our tequila. But let's do a cheers. Toast to Sadie.
Aw.
We'll try to do it better than last time. Cheers.
Cheers. Doesn't clink,
Godspeed.
but you know.
I know. Why aren't they clinking? Because they're full of tequila.
Yes.
Like, literally, these wine glasses are filled to the brim with tequila.
With tequila.
Yeah, an hour from now.
I know. Take a sip.
Yeah, it's good.
So speaking of Mackinac, did I tell you, ladies, what I'm doing for Halloween this year? Did I tell you?
Are you doing a ghost tour?
I've done that one
You've
before.
done it before?
Yeah.
So
On Halloween?
So what I'm doing is the week. I don't know what day Halloween falls on, but it's the weekend before. Nate and I are going with friends up to Mackinac Island and staying on the island.
Which place?
For the entire weekend. I don't know. I just
If
know.
you need suggestions, ask me.
He booked it and told me
Flipped it
about
a
it.
million
I don't know.
times.
He was like, I booked this thing, and I'm like, that sounds like all I ever wanted to do, and sounds like nothing you would want to do. But we're doing it, so I'm excited. And it's a
that's
costume,
sweet.
and it's a big costume party all weekend, which is I love to dress up, and he doesn't, so
Oh,
it's
that's
gonna be
cool.
a fun time. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to it,
That
and I'm
is very
hoping
cool.
to escape to go on some sort of ghost tour while I'm there. I don't know if it happens while I'm there, like on the island. If there's an actual
on Halloween.
Oh, I
I would assume
guarantee you.
so.
Because they do one almost every weekend, and then during the summer, they do it like a couple times a week.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was
Yeah.
trying to look online and it didn't say anything about it, but
It's pretty amazing,
Maybe I'll
too,
just go on
that
my own.
basically almost every building is haunted. You know, and one of our favorite bars to go to is the Seabiscuit, and it used to be a bank years and years ago, and the ghost that's in that is the guy who used to run the bank. And every now and then you'll see him in his suit just walking down the hall and turning off into what would have been his office, and now it's all walled up.
how
But
cool. Yeah, I know that it's like each night is where the costume parties, move to a different place. Like each night is someplace different, and there's different places we can go to.
Fun.
It's like a whole, like you have to book tickets and then they sell out if you don't get. So it's only, it's going to be a great time. I'm super excited.
Oh, that is so fun.
Who are the friends that you're going with? Is one of them, would they want to go with you on these fun things?
Well,
or are you just going to go alone?
I would totally go alone.
Would.
It's a lot of his, I think it's a lot of his college buddies and their wives. Okay. So I'm not sure. I met pretty much all of them, but I don't know if any of them. We haven't discussed the ghost aspects of my weirdness yet, so
you haven't gotten
we'll
into
see.
That
We'll see when we get there. If no one wants to do it, I'm totally fine going.
So
by
when you
myself.
first meet his friends, you don't go, "Hey, yo, I love to ghost hunt. How about you?
What's up? What do you like to do in your free time?"
Jinkies,
zoinks. Yeah, no, it hasn't come up in conversation, but it just might.
One of the coolest pictures that David ever took, in fact, it was the day after we had gone on the ghost hunt. It was the next day, and it was one of those, I had enough husband time. I'm like, he's like, I'm gonna go ride the bike. Great.
What did it take?
Go
5 minutes on that husband time?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, we're done. Just go do something. Let me have a drink somewhere. And so he just got on his bike, rode on. Then he went into the little stone churches at the hill, at the bottom of the hill. He walked in there and just snapped a few pictures, came back, and he's like, showing me the pictures he'd taken, and I'm like, wait a minute, and I'm enlarging it, and it was full of orbs. And then this was during the day. It was full of orbs, and the more pictures he took, they just scattered away. You could see him moving away as he's taking the picture. So we go to the hotel we were staying in a condo there, and went down, to the front desk, and
the
they're
condos
like,
are buried deep in the island too, aren't they?
The what?
The condos? Is that where you stayed? Deep in the island, in the woods?
It was fun, And they're like, okay, you got to let the ghost people know. So we went back and showed them, and they're like, this is some of the best evidence. It was really cool.
He just went and snap pictures willy-nilly. And got all
and he doesn't even believe in that sort of thing. Or if he does, it scares him. He won't even be in the room if there's the scary movie on.
What?
Yeah,
really?
He does not like that sort of thing at all. Good little Catholic boy,
That's funny.
But the girls and I drive him nuts. He's like, what you watching? Oh, we're watching Insidious. Bye.
Bye.
Walks away.
Yeah. He goes out to mow the lawn.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to mow it again. It's already, you mowed it earlier today.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter, I'm mowing it again.
I don't want to watch this. I don't want to be in the house. Like, okay, then, see ya.
By the way, this is Girlfriend's Happy Hour, and I'm Melanie.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Monica. I forgot we didn't even introduce ourselves.
Rude
of us.
Well, we forget because, we're just hanging out. You guys are just stepping in and hanging out at the bar with us.
And we're catching up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. So, scary movies. Did you hear they are making a Pet Sematary sequel? Or not a sequel, a remake.
Yes, I did hear that. It's been ongoing for a while. There's a lot of those Stephen King adaptations that I hear little things about, like, oh, they're going to remake this or that. And then I think the material is just so hard to adapt sometimes that it takes a while for them to get a script that makes sense.
Just
and that
don't touch The Shining.
I don't see it. And that's the ironic thing is Stephen King hates The Shining. Mm-hmm. That is he absolutely hates that movie with everything inside of it.
Really? Oh my God.
Yeah. He hates it because it's nothing like the book, and there's a lot of reasons. I think Stanley Kubrick took a lot of liberties with it. Yeah. I still love the movie, but I also love the book, and I can understand why he doesn't like it. But that's funny that you say that because he despises
that's funny because that's like not a huge Stephen King fan, but that I love.
He remade that himself. Stephen King did because he didn't like it.
Did he do the TV
one? The TV version, yeah.
Oh, that was funny.
Anyways.
Yeah. So Pet Sematary is one of the closest adaptations. He's one of the most adaptationed author there is. There's so many movies and things written, but he wrote that screenplay for the original for Pet Sematary, so that's why it so closely follows the book. But that was such a good movie, and I thought we would talk about it today anyway, so nice segue. Thank you, Monica.
You're welcome.
Because I just thought, like, Sadie just died, and I honestly, like, boom, I just started thinking of Pet Sematary.
Oh, I wondered why we were, and then I didn't make the connection. I was like, sure, we can talk about that. That's fine. But now I get why you want it. Now I get it. Now I understand.
You don't know the way my mind works?
I should have known that.
First, I went into, let's talk about, like, happy pet movies and what the benefits of pet ownership. And then I started thinking about ghostly pets and animals, and I was reading up about some pretty cool urban legends about ghostly animals. And then I thought, no, that's too nice and sweet. Let's talk about Pet Sematary.
You know, speaking of pet ghosts, one of my friends lived in Chicago, and their house was haunted by their uncle. He said many times in the middle of the night he'd go down to get something out of the fridge, and there'd be his uncle in his bathrobe leaning in the refrigerator just looking in there. He'd turn around, shut the door, and then poof, he'd be gone. And you'd be sitting on the floor watching TV, and all of a sudden the dog, you know how a dog will walk up and sniff around you, would do that.
Sniff and lick around your ears.
Yep.
Yeah. Or rub against your legs or something.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Do either one of you know, and I don't even know if this is a thing or not, but is there any significance to a white wolf? I had one many, many, many years ago. It was a horrible stormy night, you know, and it was all ice, and I'm trying to get home to my parents.
It was dark and stormy
It
night.
was a dark and stormy night. But no, and I mean, literally ice, and everybody was just creeping along, and all of a sudden I look, and there's this huge white wolf in front of my car, and then it's gone.
Well, it could be like in Harry Potter, but not a white wolf, but it could be a death omen.
See, it's funny because I was instantly went to Game of Thrones. Maybe no, but I don't know, like some sort of omen or like Wendigo or something.
See, and that's what I was wondering. I kept thinking, what does it mean? What does it mean? There's got to be something, but
I don't know.
We will look that up.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe do that on our. We keep talking about more urban legends
and
because I would
things.
love to.
Mythical.
You mentioned Wendigo. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the black-eyed kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
those are creepy.
Yes.
Please, sir, I need to call my mother. Get away from me.
Oh man. And they're actually in the original screenplay for Pet Sematary. I read that there was supposed to be a Wendigo.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's in the book. Do you remember?
Oh, it is in the book.
It is in the book.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
I kind
so-
of forgot. They went into more detail in the book.
It's definitely more detailed because they go into the Native
Legend
American
behind it, yeah.
aspect of it more in the book than they do in the movie. So Monica, you don't know.
I don't know what that is.
So we should maybe give her a brief synopsis.
Please.
Yes.
You don't know the movie at all either?
No.
No,
Okay.
she doesn't know the movie, the book, or Wendigos.
Oh, Wendigos.
I need to get educated.
History lesson.
Okay, so you start on Wendigos because it's like a person that was something over time and
Are they like a shapeshifter?
something. No, not really. All I know is what I know from Supernatural, and I can't even. I remember the episode, but I can't remember the lore behind it.
It's like a mix between a soul of a person, but the spirit of nature and like
yeah, it's gone wild.
It's it's
So
hard
it's a bad thing?
oh yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
definitely.
and you hear it like scream, like
Right.
it screams like a banshee, kind of like a
yes,
And it kills farm animals.
Oh, and it kills people.
kills people.
And
Oh.
in Supernatural, it would drag them back to its cave and keep them for a while before it munched on them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's, Supernatural. I think is pretty true to a lot of lore.
Okay.
They do
The
research.
show Supernatural.
Quick
If
look- I
if
know.
you're new to the podcast,
We're all obsessed with the show.
we're talking about the Winchesters. On
Quick
Supernatural.
little Supernatural thing, too. I just finished watching season 2 of 13 Reasons Why.
Oh,
And the guy who plays one of the dad who's a sheriff's deputy, Satan. It's Satan from I'm like,
it's
and he's
Satan
like
from Supernatural.
He's like going, son, and he's like talking to the kids, and I'm like, that's Satan.
that's Satan.
Oh my God! What is his name? I love him.
He's so good in
He
there,
is
huh?
so good
Yeah.
in the show, and I've seen him in other things. I can't remember what now because I just look at him and I watch him and
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
it's Lucifer. Sure.
So Satan's in the 13 Reasons Why.
Okay.
All right, Satan.
Yeah, he got another gig.
Got another
so-
gig.
Way to go, Satan.
Okay, so anyways, brief synopsis of Pet Sematary. A family, mother, father, daughter, and son who's
Okay.
maybe 18 months to 2 years old-ish, roughly.
I think he's a
little
like
older.
4.
Let me guess.
no, he's
Move
supposed
into
to
a
be
creepy
little.
old
She's-
house.
Yeah,
She's probably like 4 or 5, and he's
Okay.
like 18 months to 2 years old. Like,
So again,
Right.
move into a creepy old house.
creepy old house, and the neighbor across the street, they kind of are venturing out back at their land in their backyard through this little like path is a pet cemetery where all of the children from the town over the past 100 years or so more, have buried their pets there.
Because they got killed on the road.
They got killed on the road.
You got to watch out for the road.
Yes.
Them trucks, they drive by on that road.
I'm assuming that is
doing an
somebody doing an impression. Okay.
And it is spot fucking on.
Herman Munster. What's Fred Gwynn?
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn it, that's one of my quiz questions.
Well, looks like
Well.
we beat you to it.
And how do you, I thought you didn't know the movie.
I don't, but I know he's in it.
You pulled Herman Munster out of your
Melanie,
ass.
it's because your impression was
Oh,
perfect.
you are spot fucking
That's
on.
why.
That's right.
That's why.
You can't get there from here.
It's pretty good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
It's my New England. That's it. My Bangor, Maine.
But anyways, but he tells the main character later on, the father, that there past this pet cemetery is another burial ground, one in which if you bury your pets there, they will come back to life, but they'll be different. So of course, all hell breaks loose. I don't know how much
As you may imagine.
As you may
Well,
imagine.
what do you mean it comes back different? You bury your cat and it comes back as a...
So that's
It
exactly what
doesn't
happens.
come back as a dog. It just,
Yeah, okay.
It comes
Yeah,
back
I'm
as
wondering
a
if you
dog.
can upgrade. That's all I'm asking.
it's just looking for an upgrade.
Yeah.
No, it
Bury a
comes,
Chihuahua,
it comes
get a
back
big German
evil.
Shepherd.
Comes back evil. The spirits there, it's an evil spiritual ground, and it comes back mean and vicious and dead. Essentially, comes back. It's like
dead.
It's a zombie, basically, in a way. In a
zombie
way.
pets.
So, and then worse things happen.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Probably let me just guess.
And then even worse.
Somebody
And then even-
buries a kid there, probably.
Yeah. I mean, we might as well. This movie's almost 29 years
Oh
old.
yeah, we're
so
not giving
we're
away any spoilers except to Monica,
Except to
who's
me.
the only
Monica.
person on
Yeah.
earth who's
So,
never
yeah.
read it or watched.
So yeah, the kid gets killed on the road, the baby, and he buries the baby.
So why was the baby on the
comes back.
road?
Because
See, I can't do it.
they were having a picnic and
Yeah.
there was a kite involved and he went right. This is the movie. I'm flashing to the movie. I've read the book multiple times.
me too.
But that was when I was a teenager, and I've seen the movie much more recently.
Yep.
So-
I believe it's the same sort of scenario. Like a kite gets away
just-
from the little boy,
Yeah,
and
he
he's
just
running
went
into the road, and
they're
the
busy with
Yeah.
the
truck just plows him down.
because those trucks you got to watch
gotta
out
watch
for the
out
trucks
for
on the
those.
road.
On the road. Got it. You sound like a
Oh.
Kennedy.
Kennedy.
Are they from Bangor, Maine? Because that's spot fucking on.
Yeah. So then the kid comes back and
Kills the
Wreaks
whole
havoc.
family.
kills everyone.
Yeah. And there was,
Great.
there's a couple other things in between, but
So
that's the
he
gist of
does
it.
such happy, lighthearted work. You
I
know, it's just
well, he does have a new book out. So my daughter, she's like, "Did you know the new book was?" Her boyfriend, he knows that I love Stephen King because I've got the Stephen King bookshelf over there. So he's always telling her, "Oh, your mom would like this. Your mom would like that." So I think that's really sweet that he thinks about me. But
Definitely.
his newest book was just released on the 22nd.
what's it called? Another
called-
scary book by Stephen.
It's called The Outsider, not to be confused with S.E. Hinton's The Outsiders, which is a coming-of-age tale
Which was
about
good.
rival teen gangs,
Yeah.
the Greasers and the Socias. You all know this
Yes.
story, correct?
Right.
Oh my gosh, that was a great movie
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of really hot guys. Do you know from The Outsiders who I thought was going to be the biggest star coming out of that?
Probably
And
not Tom Cruise.
C. Thomas Howell.
Yeah, and what is he going on to do? Yeah.
Pony Boy.
I loved Pony Boy. Pony Boy was my man, and yet there's Matt Dillon, Ralph Macchio, Emilio Estevez, Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Who else was in there? Rob Lowe, Patrick Swayze. I'm like, see,
Wow.
Thomas Howell is going places, man.
That man's got it. So now he's probably works at a lumber yard.
Here,
Not
I'll
that
d-
that's bad.
I got another impression. Let's do it for Johnny, man. Let's do it for Johnny. Who's that?
You?
I should know
I don't know
this.
this.
I should know. Say it. Tell me.
Matt Dillon.
Oh, from that same movie?
Yeah, it was Matt. He was going. Yeah, he was in the hospital. And he's like, "Do it for Johnny, man. Let's do it for Johnny.
Do what?
I haven't seen that movie.
Kill the Socias."
I haven't
man.
seen that movie in forever.
Oh
I
man,
have
you
not
gotta
either.
watch
I
it.
can't even
Forever.
remember it. It's like Lost Boys. It's like I remember I saw it. I remember I liked it, but I need to re-see
I
it.
have seen that movie a million times. So
Oh yeah, that's another
Especially
one
when
that you cannot
it's
get
flying
enough
up at their
of. Yeah.
windows. That's creepy.
The soundtrack to that is amazeballs. And there was I was just listening to a podcast. Which one was it? These two girls watch, I can't remember if they watch 80s movies or they just watch, anyway, they watch movies and then they just discuss them afterwards. And I was like, ooh, Lost Boys. So I had to listen to that episode just like a couple weeks ago. Wish I could remember. That's a pretty cute podcast. They do a good job retelling the movie.
That's fun.
I love it. So if you haven't seen Lost Boys, if you haven't seen The Outsiders,
or haven't, or like me, you may need to re-see them.
yes, you need to rewatch them.
Yeah.
So anyway, Stephen King's new book is out, and I downloaded it onto my Kindle last night. I haven't had a chance to start it yet, but that one looks pretty good.
Okay.
I saw him on Conan, I believe, or maybe Stephen Colbert. He was on some.
Wait, who are we talking about again? Stephen
King.
Oh,
and he was promoting this book, and he kind of explained a little bit about it. So I was intrigued. But then there was also an article when it came out about how much he hated The Shining.
Yes.
And how in that book, there's like a little blurb, like there's some line that the character says that is bashing on that version of The Shining. So to come back to that, he clearly still does not like it because 30 plus years later, he's still 40 years later, however long ago that movie was.
Get over it. I love that movie.
I do too.
Love it.
I do have a quiz, a little bit of quiz. We can just kind of chit chat and talk about it. So I couldn't even figure out how many books he's written. It says a lot. It's different everywhere. And he's written short stories and novels, and he had a pseudonym. Oh, that's one of my first questions. What was the pseudonym under which he has written 7 novels?
J.K. Rowling.
Nailed it. Richard Bachman.
Yes. And bonus points, Miss Ashley. Can you name 2 of Richard Bachman's stories?
Was Thinner a Richard Bachman?
It was.
Okay. And how about... what's the other one? Was like Desperado was one of those? I can't remember. I know I had a couple of them, but I know I read Thinner. The Running Man? The Running Man? Did I get it? That was good.
I gave her a little clue. It was a brilliant clue.
Brilliant.
By the way.
Spot on.
Spot fucking on clue. So Richard Bachman wrote Rage, which I don't recall that one. The Long Walk, which I loved that one. That one just was...
It reminds me of a lot of the young adult fiction books that are out right now.
Maybe because I read it when I was a
young adult.
teenager.
Yeah.
It was written in 1979.
Yep.
So,
but that's a good one. Yes.
Roadwork, The Running Man, Thinner, The Regulators, and Blaze.
Regulators was what I was thinking of. There's like Regulators and Desperado. I remember those covers. Regulators.
Okay, cool. So those are Richard Bachman's. Do you know what was his first novel he ever published? Was it Salem's Lot, Carrie, The Stand, or Christine?
I knew it before you even said anything. So
is that The Stand?
No.
Christine.
No.
Okay, I just keep guessing I'm wrong.
Carrie.
It was Carrie.
Yep.
I read that book.
You did?
I read that book, yes.
Did you see the movie?
I did see the movie.
Oh, what did my daughter said to me? She's like David. She can't stand scary movies. She doesn't like them. And her boyfriend was like, well, let's either watch Carrie. I cannot remember the other story.
Was it like Stephen King?
It was, what? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. What was it? It was something else. But I said, you probably don't want to watch Carrie because for me, the scariest movies are ones that have a hint of possibility that could be true.
Yeah.
So and she's in high school and, all this stuff. So I said, well, you don't want to watch Carrie, but I can't remember what the other one was, but it was something that was so kind of scary, but like out there that wouldn't even be something that would happen or even affect her life if it did happen. You know what I mean? Okay. So anyway, sorry, that was really lame story.
That's tough.
So here's another quiz question. Stephen King once mentioned that the only novel he wrote that ever really scared him was which?
I know the
Pet
answer.
Sematary, Cujo, Thinner, or Misery?
I saw Misery. That was so good.
That was amazing. That was so good. And it was
Cock-a-doodle. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Academy Awards to both of them.
Misery. Oh, back to my story. Let me just recap for you.
Recap.
The choices were Carrie or Misery. And I said, well, are you going to be a award-winning writer traveling through the mountains who gets kidnapped by a number one fan?
Ooh, but he gets hobbled, though. I don't know.
That's a good move. Yeah, it's a good movie.
I know the answer to this question, so
Of course you do.
I know all these answers. I've read every book about him as well, so go ahead, Monica. What's your guess?
I have no idea. I forgot all the books you named already.
Let's see. Well, what are we talking about today?
Oh, Pet Sematary?
Yes.
That's when
you
it really
nailed it. Good job.
Yes.
So there's a book called On Writing, which just talks about on writing. So I've read that. It's a very good book if you even like to be creative in any way
I started to read that a long time ago
Yeah.
because I thought I wanted to be an author.
Yeah.
I don't know how to write.
It's
Someday I'll
it's
write
not
something.
even like,
Someday.
I mean, it is about that, but it's also just his thought processes and just it's very in depth into his mind. I really like that. And then I have another book that's like all about him basically. And he said how after he finished Pet Sematary writing it, and he was inspired because his family had also moved to a Maine farmhouse with a busy road.
Yes.
And he had his toddler son, Owen, was the same age as the little boy in the book, Gage. And he had almost got hit by it.
Oh my God! Okay, I thought you were going to tell me his kid got hit.
It almost got hit, and so he wrote this book, and then he made the horrific things happen that didn't happen in real life. He wrote it and was disgusted, and then threw it in a safe. Then, like years later, his wife took it out and was like, "You have to try to get this published. I like this book. It's a good book." And he was like, "No." Then he finally did.
Wow!
Thank you, Stephen King's wife. What's her name again?
Tabitha.
Thank you,
That's
Mrs.
Mrs. King.
Mrs.
Tabitha King.
Hey, you know what? This is the 2000s, man. We're not just Mrs. Peoples anymore.
True that.
We are our own women. So thank you, Tabitha. So what year was Pet Sematary originally published? The book. Was it not the movie? The book. 1979, 1983, 86, or 89?
Oh, I hope you're not asking me. I have no clue.
I'm just asking. Anyone who
Okay.
wants to answer can answer.
I know the movie was 89, so I'm guessing 86.
November 14th, 1983.
3.
Yep.
3 or
So,
6. Yes.
got that one wrong.
Got it wrong.
So some of the things I was reading, so Ashley, I like your version better. Some of the things I was reading was saying that Stephen King's family did not care for the manuscript, so that's why he put it away for a while. Screw them. They don't know what they're talking about. That was on the internet.
No, he in his own words, he said that it scared him too much, and it was just like
Yeah.
it was too real for him because it had almost happened. That after he wrote it, he was just like, I can't. Ugh. Like,
Did he also write The Green Mile?
Yes.
Or that was that?
Yep.
Is that good too?
He did. Yep. He wrote The Green Mile. It was he put it out as a serial series where he would put out one book, one part periodically, like they used to do it back in basically the time frame that the movie or the book kind of takes place. So he put it out in 6 parts.
Interesting.
Yep, and he did write that because he tells a very famous story where some old angry woman walked up to him and said, just basically telling him how much she doesn't like how he writes and what he writes. He writes all these horrible things, and she's like, why don't you write something uplifting like Shawshank Redemption or The Green Mile? And he's like, I did write those. And she's like, no, you didn't, and then walked away.
Oh my
Did
God.
he write Shawshank Redemption?
Yep, he wrote that too.
yeah.
I love that movie.
So some lady was so mad at him, and he was like, but I did write those things.
I did write those.
Wasn't Shawshank under a different name in the manuscript or the book?
It's part of the short story series, the different seasons, and it's called Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption.
Yes, that's right. Yep, I knew there was something additional to it. I have that one as well.
Good. Yeah, that was a good movie.
All these I read, because I grew up in the 80s, so I read so much of this stuff when I was a teenager. And, I think, I want to say, I've always thought that it was my favorite Stephen King book. But, man, I love The Stand.
Yeah. I go back and forth between those two as well, actually. Yep.
See, we have little in common, but we have so much in common.
The Stand is a very good book. It's just so... Each character is fleshed out so well, I think. And that's also why I like it, is because each character is... You just like... Even the bad ones, know everything about them. That it's... I don't know. His writing style is just great.
I remember going to the theater to see a Stephen King movie, and I can't remember the name of it. Emilio Estevez
Estevez.
Thank you. Almost hooked him up with
Estevez.
Gloria Estefan. Anyways, he was like all the appliances and trucks and everything came to life. One of the worst movies I've ever seen.
It is a terrible movie.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's awesome.
But what's the name of the...
Maximum Overdrive.
Okay,
I'm sorry
so
if you were going to make that.
Is the book better? It's got to be better than the movie.
No, I was going to say... It's funny. No, it is a crappy movie, but it's funny. I was just watching just a little YouTube clip with our fellas from Supernatural. And I think, was it Misha Collins? He said that Maximum Overdrive was one of the scariest... Or was it Jared who said that? But it's funny because he brought up Maximum Overdrive because the thought of machines coming to life and trucks running you over and everything was so scary to him. It must have been Misha because Misha's terrified of anything scary. Yeah.
So, because I'm full of Stephen King trivia.
Yes.
So he had written a screenplay because he had written a ton of books, novels, short stories, all that stuff. He had wanted to try out actually writing a movie, not like a screenplay of one of his books.
Right.
Writing just a movie. And that was his first foray into it. Did not go well. And it was originally entitled Trucks. And it was switched to Maximum
Very
Overdrive.
creative. Trucks.
Yeah, there you go.
Trucks.
So anyways, but yeah, nobody liked it.
So
Yeah,
Ashley, I have an
good.
idea.
Sure.
Let's start a Stephen King podcast where we talk about Stephen King and the books and everything. That would be so much fun.
I would know
because you
all
have
the
so
things.
much extra time to do that.
I have a lot of time for more
but you would love it.
podcasting.
Yeah.
You would make time for Stephen King. I know you would.
Maybe if I can.
If you could do it from home, we could do like a remote podcast.
Yeah, sometimes I do conference calls for the movie things, and I just sit. Yeah, that's definitely I could just call in
because I would love your take on all of the books. So, Ashley already gave it away. One of my quiz questions,
Sorry.
and I knew. I knew you would know most, if not all, of these. And but I knew
Apparently all
Monica
of
would
them.
know any of them.
Monica knows it.
You know what? Let's see if Monica knows this one.
Oh, no.
What was the name of the boy, the son, who was killed in Pet Sematary? Was it Gage, Gabe, Gavin, or Gary?
I did say that.
And Ashley
You
just
said
said
the name.
it.
Was it Gage?
Gage.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Good
thought
job.
that's... I'm
Got
like,
it.
she said a
How about
name.
his sister? Do you know his sister's name?
I didn't know there was a girl.
Yeah, he had an older sister. We just talked about it.
Did we name her?
We didn't name her, though.
No, I didn't say her
Gage's
name.
sister. Is that her name? Carrie.
Yeah.
There it is,
Well, it was Ellie.
Ellie.
But the funny thing is, you say that, like, in so many of Stephen King's movies or books, he makes reference to other movies or books. So that was one of the quiz questions, too. In Pet Sematary, what was the other Stephen King book / movie that was referred to in Pet Sematary? Do you know? You know,
maybe,
don't
but
you?
give me multiple choice
Okay.
just so I can.
Was it Salem's Lot, Carrie, Cujo, or Christine?
Cujo.
I was thinking it was Cujo as well,
Cujo.
but it might be Christine.
It was Cujo.
Cujo. Okay, I was like trying to remember the specific.
I'm over
line.
here. Say Cujo like I know what I'm talking about.
So I have to tell you what it's from. So Judd, who is the kindly older neighbor,
Of course.
Fred Gwynn, who told Lewis, the dad, he said, there was a big old Saint.
Do it. Do it. You've got to do it now. You've got to do this.
Hold on. Hold on. There was a big old Saint Bernard that went rabid downstate a couple of years ago and killed 4 people.
You know,
Wow.
I will say I feel like you're nailing the main accent.
Yeah.
Although, however, I don't know that Fred Gwynn was doing a main accent in that movie. He might have been trying, but I don't know if he succeeded.
Well, then I am
But
trying.
you're
to
nailing
do
the
a main-
Fred Gwynn
Version.
I nailed the
Okay.
Fred Gwynn version of
attempt of the
accent.
main accent. Yeah.
Good
So
job.
that was Cujo, which was published in 1981. Blah, 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 making reference to previous stories is an interesting aspect of Stephen King's books. Thank you very much.
Have you read Cujo?
Oh,
sorry.
heck yeah.
No.
Oh.
Did you see the movie? I
No.
in movie for sure.
No.
Did you see the movie?
Well, yes, I was going
Oh.
to say that's one of the Stephen King, like another one that the ending is different in the movie than it is in the book. Mm-hmm. There's a few of those that are very different.
What are you alluding to? Is the book different in The Shining? Different ending?
The Shining, The Shining ending is way different.
There's a lot of differences.
Yeah. And in Cujo, the boy dies in the book.
Okay. Well,
But he doesn't
in
die
the book, the character who also had the Shining, the cook.
Yes. Yep.
Does he get killed in the book? I was distraught when he got killed.
Yeah,
I don't
Makes it all the way there. He's not even in the building. 5 minutes, and boom, he's dead.
No, I don't think he dies in the book.
Wasn't
if I'm
he
remembering
in, like,
correctly.
Florida or the
Yeah.
Bahamas?
Yeah.
One of those two.
Yeah.
I think it was in Florida.
I remember
And
a
he
Hawaiian
knew something
shirt.
was wrong with Danny.
He knew it. He had to
No,
go
I
help
don't
Danny.
believe he died in the book. I
I don't
think he
recall.
did. I don't think he did.
I haven't read the book again since I was a kid. So
Yeah.
Okay.
and Stephen King is usually plays a small role in his
In all of
movies.
them.
I love it. Every
like
single
Stan
one.
Lee.
Is it everyone?
Most of them. I mean, he's not in The Shining.
Yeah, that's true.
but he's in a lot of them.
That's probably why he's so bitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, God
They
damn
couldn't
it.
even put me in the big picture.
No, but he's in most of them.
Well, let's do a couple more, Steve. Okay, so Pet Sematary. What was the name of the cat who was killed? Was it Curtis, or Kurt for short, Bert, Church, or Synagogue?
Well, I'll just go with the first one.
Kurt?
It's Church.
Is it really?
Churchill. Like Winston Churchill.
Okay. Or synagogue.
or synagogue. That is, yeah.
I'm going to go with that one.
I crack myself up writing these damn things. Okay. We already know this. Who played the role of the kindly neighbor, and what was his name?
Fred Gwynn.
Fred Gwynn, and Judd was the neighbor's name. Okay, but I want to go back to this because the more I thought about it, and I want to get your take on this, Ashley. What was he really that kindly? Why in the actual fuck did he tell him about this freaking pet cemetery?
So, and
So,
I
love it when she
I
starts
know
like
because
that.
it is stupid. I mean, it had to happen for plot purposes, but I think it's because he knew how upset Ellie would be that her cat had got run over, and so he.
Dude, life goes on.
I know.
Yeah.
Listen, I agree 100% with you, but I think
He knew the ground was sour.
I think the ground is sour.
Oh my
The soil's gone sour up
Yep.
there.
Oh, Lord.
But yeah, no, I think he just knew Lewis was trying to be a good dad and thought he would help him out, but then he instantly regretted it, obviously.
Instantly.
yeah.
Like, even as it was happening, he was like, what
Yeah,
the
crap,
hell
what was
did
I
I do?
thinking?
I've unleashed hell.
But, you know,
I immediately regret this decision. Guess what that's from?
everything.
You should know this one, Monica. It's, picture this. Will Ferrell. And he jumps and he says, oh, I immediately regret this decision.
Anchorman?
Yes!
When he jumps in the cage?
He jumps down in the bear pit.
Bear pit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Will Smith. And I'm like, Will Smith?
I did say Will Smith, didn't I?
I don't know, but I pictured
Will
Will
Ferrell.
Ferrell somehow.
No,
Oh, so
I said Will Ferrell.
I'm like,
Okay.
We will. When I'm listening back to
Okay.
this later,
Yeah.
I'll be like, "Oops, I did say Will Smith," or I'll be like,
Because that's
"Fuck
when I
yeah,
started
did."
thinking, I'm like, was it Men in Black? I don't know.
Black, maybe.
Will Smith. Okay, so I read Pet Sematary. Again, I was a teenager, and at the time, we had a bi-level. And most people, I think, know what a bi-level is.
Yeah.
You walk in, and the basement is actually the lower level of the house, and the upstairs. Half
So
in
it's
and
not
half
where
out the ground.
bisexuals live.
No. There were none in my house. Some bisexuals may live in bi-levels. I
And
don't
we have a
judge.
problem
I
with
don't
that.
care. Actually, I do judge. Bi-levels suck. Don't ever buy a bi-level. I do
Anything
not like
else?
that floor plan. So I was living in the basement room way down, and there was just like one bedroom was finished and the rest was all unfinished.
Oh, ew.
And I walked down, I had to walk through that. So I was like back in the corner of the house and dark, and I was a teenager. I'm like, I liked being on my own. Well, then I read Pet Sematary, and I had a black cat who loved to sleep with me, and it would come in, and it was one of those like head cats where it would come and it would lay across your neck or on your head
Yeah.
or next to your cheeks.
Yeah.
And I had to shut my door and lock my cat out for weeks because I was terrified.
No!
I was so scared.
Of
It
your
just-
own cat?
Yes, it freaked me out.
Oh.
Max is staring at you.
Max
Don't ever
is
do
like,
that to
how
me.
dare you?
How dare you? I would never do that to you, Maxie. I would never do that. So, okay. So I've got some fun little Fred Gwynn. Well, I just read the first one. I guess it's not all fun.
Okay.
Which is not true of Fred Gwynn. That he died of prostate cancer. So that's not really fun. A fun thing.
Not really, no.
That he was in an a cappella band. That he was the director's first and only choice for the film Pet Sematary. Or he was up for a role in a TV show until the casting director referred to him as Herman Munster. He got offended and withdrew.
So which one of those is not true?
Which one is not true?
Died of prostate cancer, was in an a cappella band, the director's first and only choice for Pet Sematary, or was up for a role in a TV show. That one is not true, that he got offended because he called him Herman Munster.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
I'm trying to... I don't think he was the first choice for that character. I think that's my guess.
You both are wrong because I tricked you.
Oh my gosh.
He did not die of prostate cancer. He died of pancreatic cancer.
Oh,
and now I
Trixie.
feel like such an asshole because I'm celebrating that he died of a different cancer. That I won.
So,
and he
yay.
died. Sorry, Fred, because you are very beloved. I love you.
Oh, yeah.
But he wasn't. Can you picture him in an a cappella band? It was. He was a member of the Harvard a cappella group, the Crocodilios.
His voice is so low, he'd be great for that.
I just thought it was cute.
That is good.
He was the director's first and only choice for the film, and he was up for a role in Punky Brewster until the casting director called him Herman Munster instead of his real name. He was offended and withdrew.
I can see why that would be annoying. I mean, like that's not my only role. It's not the only thing I've ever been in.
Other thing.
Yeah.
I have quite a body of work.
Oh, I'm not blaming him. I just think it's kind of funny.
But that is funny, yeah.
So let's see. Oh, some of the other roles he was in. He was in My Cousin Vinny.
Mm-hmm. Played the judge.
That was the best. He was so good in that.
I love that movie.
He was like the two what?
The
Utes? What is a Ute?
Yeah.
And then he goes, and then when what's his name?
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci. He's like, how many fingers am I holding up? He's like, let the record show. Counsel's holding up 2 fingers.
That's a great movie.
I've never seen that.
Oh, you've never seen My Cousin Vinny?
No. Mm-mm.
No, let me rephrase the question. You've
No.
never seen My Cousin Vinny?
And I have absolutely no intention of it. I've seen the clips and it's like, and then my mom goes, oh, it's so funny. I'm like, well, then right there, I'm not going to like it.
Oh, man.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good. I watched it for the first time recently because it's
Really?
one of Nate's favorites. So he made me watch it.
No,
Marissa Tomei won an Oscar.
Yeah.
And did you see that episode of Seinfeld? When George...
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
She
and
likes
he was
short,
obsessed.
bald men, yeah.
And then he was making out with the pillow when... what's her name? His fiance walked in.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Okay. There's a lot of questions about Victor Pascal.
Oh, yeah. We didn't tell Monica
We didn't
about
tell
that.
her about Victor Pascal.
Mm-mm.
So the reason they moved to this town was because the dad got a job at the university.
Yep.
And his first day on the job, this kid gets hit by a truck or something.
On his bike or whatever.
On his bike. And they brought him in, and he was dying as the dad was trying to help him.
The dad is a doctor.
So he died, and then kind of his spirit follows. The dad's name is Lewis. Follows Lewis.
What movie are
through
we
the
talking
movie.
about now?
Pet Sematary.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
I love you, Monica.
La.
So, finish the following quote, Ashley.
Thank God.
Don't go blank. No matter how much you feel you may need to, doctor. Don't go close. Don't go home. Don't go there, or don't go beyond. Don't go blank. No matter how much. No, that's not his voice. Don't go. No matter how much you. That's not his voice.
I don't know if that's his voice
I'm
either.
just messing around.
Beyond?
Beyond.
Okay.
Very good. He came back to warn Lewis about bonus points, Ashley. Do you know what Indian burial ground it was? What type of Indian tribe? You remember the name of them? That's a tough one.
Ojibwa?
Ojibwa?
Ojibwa? I have no idea.
Uji? Uji. What's that from?
Dances with Wolves?
You got it.
Okay.
Dear
That's the only
Lord, you know me.
That's the only movie that I could think of that you would be like doing that for. So
When she have you seen Dances with Wolves, Monica?
I did.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Okay.
long time ago.
All right. Okay. How's this? Finish the statement.
Ashley.
Ashley.
sorry, Monica.
He thought he was sent to warn, but that he couldn't blank. Help, forgive, stop it, or interfere. Who said the line?
Ellie.
Did you guess that from my
Yes,
impression?
except for you should have been 1,000 times more annoying with it because she was the worst little actress.
bad.
Super bad.
She was the worst.
And the thing is that it was twins, and she was the best of the twins because the
that's
other
bad.
twin wasn't very good, and she was the best of them. Anyways, I don't know, stop it or help, one of those two. Were those choices? I can't remember now. Obviously, it's not one of those.
So no,
Okay.
those were the choices. Yet I forgot to mark which was the answer.
Oh my God.
No wonder you're pausing.
Oh, that's too good.
Not pausing for dramatic effect.
Too good.
It is very dramatic. I think it's interfere. Stop it. No, it's stop it. Stop it.
You didn't stop it. It's when she's crying. And
What do you guys think? You guys.
I
write
said
in and
stop
tell
it
me.
first.
Stop it.
So
Yeah, I think it's stop it. That is.
and we're
We're
probably all
gonna
wrong.
go with that.
Okay.
Okay, one last one. We're just gonna do the end. We're gonna say so. Basically, Monica, in the end, his wife dies. He buries her. She comes back.
No.
The kid.
That man learned anything
alert.
through the whole freaking movie.
So his logic behind it
Oh my God.
is that he buried the kid. It took him too long to bury the kid, so he came back evil. So if he buries his wife right after
Oh,
the kid
of course.
kills her,
Well, that's
then
logical
she'll come back.
Jeez.
So what were her first words to Lewis right after he resurrects her?
Die, motherfucker.
Was it
darling?
Flesh? Oh, okay, you already got it.
Is it darling?
Yes.
I just remember. I remember the last lines of
Did
the book.
she come back bad though? She did,
Yeah.
didn't she?
Oh,
Well, in the book.
yeah, because go ahead.
You
No,
always
you
come
go ahead.
And so she whispers. He starts to kiss her, and she whispers "darling" to him, and you see her pull out a knife. Or in the book, she says she pulls out a knife.
Yeah.
She's gonna slice him up.
back. All right then.
Says, darling.
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 Actually, I have two more. Oh no, one more. So, what did Gage say to Rachel when he came back from the dead? Did he say, "I miss you, Mommy.
I'm back.
Come play with me, Mommy. I brought you something, Mommy." Or, "We all float down here, Mommy. You can float too."
So you wrote all these questions, or you wrote
Some
all
of them.
some of them.
I added
It's-
here and there.
I'm guessing number 3. What was number 3? Not the.
I don't remember because I read them out of order.
Oh, okay.
So the answer is, I brought you something, Mommy.
Okay,
There
yeah.
you go. Oh, you're
Brought
better at
you
impressions than
something,
me.
Mommy. Because I thought that kid did a really good job for being 2.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Wow.
Being able to talk and like act.
That's amazing.
You know.
Yeah, and like the little kids, they don't really, because on set, I'm sure it's not scary and creepy
No.
because it gets that way with the lighting, with the music, and everything they
Yeah.
put into it that way.
Sweet.
So, okay, well, that was super fun, and I think we should be talking about this Stephen King podcast because there's like 1,000 Harry Potter book
Oh yeah.
podcasts,
A lot of Anne Rice ones.
and I'm gonna have to look up and see how many Stephen King ones there are.
There's not that many.
Careful, you don't want to catch her asthma.
I was coughing the other day, and I said, "Sorry, Monica, I know you don't want to catch any." Well, I don't remember.
If it came up like, I don't want you to get sick, and I'm like, I don't think I can catch asthma.
It is.
Calling into work.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I've got
caught
asthma. I can't come into work.
Well, you guys, thanks for sticking it out here in the heat wave in my house.
Yes.
Can I come home with you guys? You have air?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Ashley, it's been great seeing you
It's
again.
been great seeing you guys too. I'm happy to be here for a Stephen King filled episode.
I know. I'm glad I could help so much with the answers. I didn't know nothing. I've got to get caught up on Stephen King stuff, apparently.
Yes,
That's
you
like
do.
with the supernatural episodes we've had. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, yep, I don't know anything
Yep.
about it.
Oh, there's I just like 5 different books just popped in my head. I want to ask you about them. So definitely, we need to talk about the Stephen King podcast.
Okay.
It'll be fun.
All right, then.
All right. Okay, well, guys, thanks so much for joining us. Remember, if you like hanging out with us, because we like it when you're hanging out with us too, head on over to your Apple Podcasts and rate, review, and subscribe. That way other listeners can find us.
Yes.
Yes, please do so. And feel free to shoot us an email too, or send us a message, tweet at us.
And when you're listening to us, have a drink with us, because God knows we're always drinking.
Yeah, just pour some tequila over some ice.
There you go.
We're good.
Squeeze a lime and
even if it's breakfast time, doesn't matter. Do it anyways.
All right. Well, there's always a seat at the bar for you. Cheers.
Cheers.